You knew that you could not live in an environment in contrast without new preferences and desires being born. And you knew something very important. Beyond that, you knew that when that desire emanated from you, that the source that really is you would join that idea. In other words, you knew that if life caused you to know that you wanted more of something, that a rocket of desire would shoot forth from you, and that an advance, pre-paving, vibrational expression of you would shoot forth. You knew that you would continue to be reborn as a result of the life that you're living. You knew that it would be a constant expanding you. But you also knew that it wasn't just the expanding you in your physical form clump sitting on a physical chair. You knew that when life caused you in your physical form to want something more, that the larger part of you would not just embrace it, not just answer it, but become it fully. You knew that this life would cause you to expand, and you were so excited about this constantly evolving vibrational escrow. And by vibrational escrow, we mean the expanding you that precedes the physical you catching up with the expanding you. In other words, when you don't have enough of something, you ask for more. And when you ask for more, in the moment that you ask, Source not only answers your request, but becomes it. You understand that you come from a stream of consciousness. And do you understand that the part of that stream of consciousness that is you is also Source? So when your life causes you to become more, the Source within you becomes it. And so as you hear Abraham expressing here, Esther is not hearing words and repeating them to you. She is receiving this block of thought from this expanded consciousness, and she is finding physical word equivalents to express to you. And all of you have this same experience if you want it, because every one of you is an extension of source energy, and every one of you is living life and building your vibrational escrow. And the source that you have become is available to you at all times if you will but let it be. That's what allowing is. Allowing means finding somehow, some way, vibrational resonance with that which I really am. So it's your job to close the gap between you and you. It's your job to be the source energy in physical bodies. But we want you to hear the whole story of this. We want you to understand that you are far more source energy than you are the physical flesh, blood, and bone being that you know as you. You are source energy. You are vibration. You were source energy before you came into this body, and you are source energy. Now you have become this person that you know as you. But there is another part of you that most of you are not even thinking about. People think about being dead or alive. They talk about the soul. They talk about God. They talk about God as if it is something that is separate from them. They even talk about soul as if it is something separate from them. I can't have my soul while I'm physically focused. I'm alive now. I have to be dead before I'm my soul. And we say, you are always this stream of consciousness. You are ever connected to that which is source. And the better you feel, the more in vibrational alignment with who you really are, you are in any point in time. So we don't need to give you guidance about how to explore contrast. You can't stop it. We don't have to give you guidance about how to develop desire. You can't stop it. The environment into which you were born is set up in that way. You give birth to constant new desires. And source is the answering of the desires. Your work and what you came here to live specifically in this time, your work is to find vibrational alignment with what you have become. So, for example, if you don't have enough money, you ask for more money, and the larger part of you, the non-physical part of you, becomes more prosperous. Now, some of you say, big deal. Where's my stuff? And we say, don't underestimate the value of living contrast and setting forth this rocket of desire. Because everything that you know as physical expression of life was first thought and then eventually thought form. We're giving you a really abbreviated version, and eventually became the manifestation that you know as life experience. Before you can want it, you have to live the contrast. Before you can give birth to it, you have to live the contrast. When you give birth to it, Source always answers it. Before you can receive it in terms of manifestation, you have to find a way of becoming a vibrational match to what you have asked for. You must be a vibrational match to your desire. And that's why the art of allowing is something that you're really wanting to get the hang of. You're really wanting to begin to pay attention to the guidance that you were born with that lets you know how allowing you are of that which you have become or not. From this source energy perspective, you've become physical. From this physical perspective, you've asked for more, which the source part of you has become. So the source part of you is all that it was before you lived this physical life, and so much more because you have lived this physical life. And the emotions that you feel are your indicator of how much of who you have become through this life experience you're now letting yourself be. In other words, when you feel joy, you're right up to speed with who you are. When you feel pain, you're not. When you feel appreciation, you're in harmony with who you are. When you feel criticism, you are not. Your emotions let you know whether you are in vibrational alignment with the larger part of you or not. So, do you get it that you were source before this? Of course you do. Nothing else makes sense. And do you get it that there is a reason for this life and that it is for the joyous expansion of all that is? You're beginning to understand that. Your own life keeps showing that to you. And here's the thing that we want you to hear as a result of being with us here today. We want you to understand that once you become more, if you are to feel joy, you've got to keep up with what you've become. Life cannot cause you to ask for something and you continue to beat the drum of why you need it and you be in alignment with what you're asking for. Simplest example in the world is you need more of something. You don't have enough of something. Let's say money, since it's something that everyone understands. You don't have enough of it, and every time you don't have enough of it, or every time you want something more than the money you have will provide, you set forth a rocket of desire requesting more, and every time you ask, whether you use words or not, Source becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you are asking for. Can you hear that? You cannot ask without an expansion of the larger part of you occurring in the moment. That's what the evolution of all species is about. That's why we can promise you with unquestioning understanding that everything is becoming more and nothing is shrinking back. There is no regression. There is no going back from what was. In other words, here you are standing in this leading edge place and the source within you has become the culmination of all that you have asked for. So the question that this workshop wants to ask and answer is, what are you doing about that? How are you doing in keeping up with who you have become? And we want to say to you, you can't not keep up. When you croak, oh, you'll keep up. In other words, in any moment that you stop resisting by beating the drum of what's wrong or beating the drum of what you don't want or beating the drum of who's doing what to who, in the moment that you stop pushing against unwanted things, your vibration moves in the direction of the things that you want every single time. You are literally like a cork bobbing on this sea of well-being. Oh, in your physical expression, you can hold the cork under the water. You can try to drown the little bugger. But when, in the moment that you distract yourself from it and let go of it, it will bob right back up to the surface, right back where you belong, right back in vibrational alignment with who you are. You cannot cease to be the expanded version of you. But in your physical form, you can pinch yourself off pretty good from the expanded version of you, can't you? You can continue to beat the drum of why I need the money. I need this money. It's not fair that I don't have this money. I really, really need this money. I've wanted this money for as long as I can remember. Where is my money? Where is my money? Where is my money? Where is my money? And when you fixate on what is, you hold yourself in vibrational alignment with what is, and you don't allow yourself to go easily toward the expanded version that life caused you to ask for. It's supposed to go well for you, and it does and will. Look around you. Look at all the negative stuff that is force-fed to you through your television, and look how really well you are doing. If they were giving you an accurate rendition of the negative news of the world, you would turn on your television one day, you would be listening to beautiful music and watching beautiful things, and occasionally you will hear zip, and you'd say, what's that? And some wise one would tell you, oh, that was all of the negative things that happened all over the world today. Zip. But when you train yourself into a disproportionate view of things, when you train yourself to worry about this and that, when you fuss and worry, when you wage war against terrorism and war against cancer and war against violence and war against drugs and war against teenage pregnancy and war against, when you push against those unwanted things, you hold yourselves unnecessarily in vibrational alignment with what you don't want. And you cannot hold yourself in vibrational alignment with what you don't want and allow yourself to be what you do want, to be a vibrational match to what life has caused you to ask for. So your emotions in every moment let you know how you're doing with this gap between what life caused you to become, and we really want to state that in a way that you can feel it. Source within you has become more because of you, but we don't even want you to separate, even in a little way, the source within you and the source that is there with you, with the source that is the you that is you in your expanded form. We so want you to get the sense of who you are. We want you to begin to see the world through the eyes of the source that is really you. And when you're mad at somebody, you're not doing that. And the negative emotion that you feel tells you that. Esther will say, oh, Abraham, come on. You gotta give me this one. Surely you can agree with me that this is finally the last straw. And what Esther discovers again and again is we cannot go there with her to her negative understanding. We have become more as a result of what she has lived. And if she is to feel good, she has to stay up to speed with that which we are, you see. So when you beat the drum of I don't have enough money, even though through your life you have put so much vibrational money into your vibrational escrow, and the universe at large with law of attraction has lined up circumstances and events to reveal to you and yield to you a steady stream of abundance. But if you've practiced I don't have enough until that's more dominant than your expectation of things going well, then no matter how much the struggle of your life causes more to go into your vibrational escrow, you hold yourself apart from it. You, no one else. And since you wouldn't do it to you on purpose, most of you assume there must be outside forces. I must not be worthy, you say. I must not be good enough. I must not have been born under the right star. I must not have been born to the right parents who had an inheritance to give to me. It must be karmic. I must have been very greedy in a past life. And we say, it isn't anything other than in this moment where all of your power is, you're letting it in or not, you're letting it in or not, you're letting it in or not. And when you feel ornery, you're not letting it in. When you feel joy, you are. When you feel appreciation, you're letting your well-being in. When you feel cranky and ornery, you're not. When you see injustice and you feel indignation and you feel resentment, you're pinching off your well-being. And we mean your well-being. We mean the well-being that was your inheritance. You talk about an inheritance. Do you know what you had lined up for you even before you came forth into this physical body? And do you understand that in everything that you have lived, do you get even the slightest inkling of what you have put into your vibrational escrow? Do you know the legacy, the pre-paving that you have set forth for yourself? And when you begin to catch wind of that, when you begin to feel it, you begin to feel the true current of inspiration calling you forward. It is so exhilarating for us to view your vibrational escrow, and it is thrilling to us when we see you making the effort to find a thought that just feels a little better and a little better and a little better. Because as you reach for increasingly better feeling thoughts, you gradually release the resistance, which is the only thing that has ever been holding you apart from who you really are. Your source energy in physical bodies, and life is supposed to be good for you. So, relax and expect that everything that you want to understand will be given to you in the best possible way for you to understand it.